The Miracle X10 Olympic style recurve bow versus the Hero X10 target style competition compound bow. I'm Sean McVeigh, Sean's Outdoor Adventures, and in this video I'm going to compare and contrast the Miracle X10 Olympic style recurve versus the Hero X10 target style compound bow. If you have ever had an interest in getting into competition archery of any type, these are some excellent bows to take a look at because they are more affordable than any other brand I've ever actually seen on the market. In some sense, these can even be less than half the price of competing equipment of the same caliber. So let me just go through each one. I'll shoot each one for you as an example. Let's start with the Miracle X10. So the Miracle X10, you may have seen some of my other videos on it. It comes with everything you see here on the bow. So you have a very high quality sight, and I mean this can adjust all the way down to here. The shooting range that this sight gives you is phenomenal. It also, let me spin it around here. It comes with a clicker, arrow rest, burger button. This is the burger button here for those who aren't familiar. That is a plunger. So when an arrow comes off of this style bow, it has what's called the archer's paradox. So let me pick up an arrow here. So when an arrow comes off of a bow like this Miracle X10, it bends in this direction, left and right. So as it comes off the bow, it bends out away from the bow, and then it comes back in. So as it comes out, it bends out, it comes back in, but then that wobble effect stays in the arrow as it goes down range. Of course, it lessens as it goes. When you're dealing with a compound, the arrow doesn't bend to the side, it bends straight down as it comes off the bow. So that's why you have this burger button here, because as the arrow comes off, it kind of comes back in and can touch that, and there's that little bit of flex. If it hits a hard surface, it's going to bounce back. So that comes with the bow. You also have the full stabilizer package with weights. You can compensate for putting different weight in different areas to help balance the bow. So ultimately, you want the bow to be perfectly vertically balanced and not tilting to the side in order to be as accurate and consistent as possible. So you just slide the arrow underneath of the clicker. Let's take a shot. So with Olympic style recurve, if you're familiar with it, you have a shot sequence that is pretty elaborate. So you come back to full draw, anchor, and then you're gonna ease in to full draw, transfer to hold, and listen for the clicker. If you could hear the click right as I let go. So that helps you ensure that you have the same draw length on every shot. So all of this comes with the Miracle X10. And I recently had a question about the limbs. The limbs on this bow have really impressed me. So I've owned a lot of recurves over the years, and I originally got 35-pound limbs because with my long draw length, I'm actually holding more like 55. You're holding about 15 pounds, maybe more like 50 at full draw. So shooting a lot of compound, I'm used to holding about 10 to 20 pounds at full draw. Going from 10 to 20, even more often closer to the 10 mark, up to 50, it's harder to hold steady. So with the ILF limb, International Limb Fit, you can get different pound limbs without needing to get a whole new bow. Anyway, I started off with 35-pound limbs, and because of how strong these limbs are at full draw, I actually needed to drop down to 30-pound limbs because it's so much stronger than my other recurves at full draw. And so that shot I just took is with a 30-pound limb. I'm probably holding closer to 45 or so at full draw. And because I haven't shot a lot of recurve in recent years, I got to build my muscles up before if I want to try to go back up to the higher pound limbs. But anyway, having that international limb fit, you can just change the poundage of the limb if you find like, oh, this is a little bit too much, I need to drop it down, and you could just hang on to that other set of limbs and switch back to it if you want. So that's one of the nice things about an international limb fit bow. You could also use limbs from another brand if you wanted to, but I like these limbs. They're working great for me. Now you have two options as far as the actual limb pocket. So this particular one that I went with is closer to the Hoyt style limb pocket. They also make one that's closer to the Win-Win brand of Olympic style recurve. So you can choose which pocket you want and make slight adjustments with it. So there is, some screws here for adjusting the limb pocket for fine-tuning your bow. Now I want to remind you, if you weren't aware of it, I'm giving one of these away at the end of this month. So at the end of the month of August, I'm giving away a Miracle X10 Olympic style recurve from Sanlita. So go to the giveaways page on my website to stay in touch with the details on that, but that giveaway is coming up very soon. All right, now let me talk a little bit about the Hero X10. I just kind of put all the components on. Once again, you're getting a high quality sight. The sight that they sent me did come with a magnifier in it, but I don't have a clarifier, so I don't have it on right now. But again, you're dealing with a very high quality sight, long range of adjustability for your distance, your shooting distance. Comes with the arrow rest, and as you can see, there's a long travel in this arrow rest, so you can torque tune the bow very easily. Right now I have the rest all the way up. I haven't even finished setting it up, but as far as torque tuning the bow, what you do for torque tuning, if you're not familiar, is you take a shot and you intentionally torque the bow. You take one torqued all the way one way, then you take one straight on like normal, then you torque it as hard as you can the other way, and you see where your arrows land. And you can actually move the rest back and do it all again until all of your arrows hit near where you're aiming, even when you're torquing it. That's called torque tuning the bow. And as you can see, there's a long range of travel for torque tuning, and all of your high level competition archery shooters have torque tuned their bow. You can believe me on that. So this comes with the rest. There are 4 different blades for the arrows to rest on. You have the stabilizers. It also comes with a ton of weights where you can really fine tune where you put your weights on. I haven't even done that yet. There's different areas where you can put the back facing stabilizer. You could do it here, you can put it here. You could also attach it right here where the other one's attached. Let's take a shot with this. Now, one thing to be aware of for this is that the cams are draw specific. So there's 3 cams. I think there's 3 cams, like basically a small, medium, and a large cam. This is the medium cam. I actually need the large cam for my draw length. So the medium cam, I think, is something like 26-inch draw to maybe 29.5. And it's draw specific. So you got to order it with the draw module at the exact draw length that you are. So for me, I'm 31.5. Depends on how I'm anchoring with the bow. So your axle to axle length can modify slightly how you're anchoring because of the string angle. Especially if you're like me and you like to rest your tip of your nose on the string for anchoring. So for this bow, I still need to get the larger cam in order to be able to set this up for me. But let me take a shot to show you. So as you can see, like I need it to be like way back here to fit me. So right here, it's way too short. So if it was the right draw length, I'd be anchoring like this. And I haven't even put weights on it, and just shooting with the long stabilizers like this creates so much balance, more so than I'm used to. I feel like I can hold so steadily on the bullseye having these long stabilizers. It's pretty nice. This is a shoot-through riser. So it's the first bow I ever remember seeing with a shoot-through riser was Hoyt, and so You've got basically the arrow going right down the center of the whole bow. Whereas some bows, it's slightly off, in order to for the construction. Why wouldn't you want something like this for hunting? Well, if you have to quickly reload an arrow, it's kind of harder to feed it all the way through there, especially the broadhead on there. So that's why you don't see these shoot through risers on hunting bows. But the Hero X10 and the Miracle X10, these are great options for getting into target style archery because it gives you the full package. You don't have to figure out every little component that you need to get in order to shoot because it's provided for you. So that makes it easier for someone getting into. And also the price of these packages is just outstanding. So for this bow here that I'm holding, the Hero X10, I believe they're selling it for right around $1,200 with everything you see here. Now, most bows these days, just for the target bow alone, the bare bow, not a single accessories, is usually more than that. Once you add in a sight that is going to cost you $300 for a sight, probably over $100, $100 some for the rest. This is a micro adjust rest, so you loosen it, you loosen the bolt here, and then you turn this knob, and it moves it left and right in very small increments. Back-facing stabilizer, again, just the connector piece alone for most brands is $100+. Then the stabilizer on top of that. So, I mean, what you're getting for the price is amazing. It's a great price. So that's something that appeals to me. I've always been somebody who just hasn't had a whole lot of money. Like growing up, my parents sent us to Catholic school, and that took up every bit of extra funds that we had, paying for Catholic school. We didn't have money for stuff. I didn't have nice things. And, if I wanted to get into something like target archery like this, it just wouldn't have been possible. So anyway, they make a lot of different colors for the riser. I just wanted to try silver. For my Miracle X10, I wanted to try black for the riser here. But they have different colors you can pick from. I'm going to provide a link in the description section if you want to check these types of bows out in more detail and perhaps even purchase one for yourself. I want to thank you so much for following my videos. Again, don't forget I'm giving away a Miracle X10. I mean, it is so fun even just playing around with one of these and getting used to that style of shooting. So if that interests you at all, make sure you get in on that giveaway. There's going to be a link in the description section, not just for the bows, but for the giveaways page on my website. Until next time, take care and God bless you.